the mountains.
Why come back?
Fuck. My parents. I wanted to find them.
Whoa,
I
what?
needed,
Holy sound desync.
I needed... my mother.
What happened?
She sat me down in the back of a truck, gave me her necklace, and shut the door.
She didn't say anything?
She told me, never come back.
But you came back.
I did.
Why? You'll notice there's a game missing. It's not even in my library. Yeah, I uninstalled Hell Is Us and refunded it. So, this is my review of Hell Is Us. I want to talk about this. Because when I upload my footage for Hell Is Us, I'm going to just kind of use this to kind of blanket it why I uninstalled it and refunded it. So, I'll also talk about why there's a 10-minute edit gap. Anywho, so I want to preface this by saying two things. One, I know that this is technically not a Souls-like, though it does incorporate Souls-like elements, so I do judge it for what it tried to be and what it didn't become. I'll get into that. Two, my opinion might change later if this game somehow manages to be better. Based on my research, it doesn't get much better, but if they do a 2.0 launch, I'll check it out. Here are my pros for the game. It did have a unique feeling environment, great soundtrack, and the story was interesting enough that I wanted to see what happens next. That's it for the pros. Let's go into the cons. First of all, I want to start with the big selling point in this game. The big selling point for Hell Is Us is no maps, no markers. All right. This isn't an open world game. It plays like a Souls-like, where each area is its own zone. The areas feel semi-linear, so you don't really get lost, and the quests are designed like a Souls-like game. So, why is no map a selling point? All Souls-like and action games like Devil May Cry and Bayonetta do not have maps. This is not new. That's like saying, in this RPG, you fight enemies to gain experience. Like, yeah, no shit. That's all RPGs. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. I'm not reading this word for word. So the reason why not having a map bothers me is this is a post-apocalyptic game with technology. The vehicles have a navigation system. They are connected to a network. You have a data pad connected to a network. Why do you not have a map? Logically speaking, that makes no sense. And they care about realism because, enter the combat section, which is, you know, kind of a lengthy part to cover. Also, like the Souls-like game, you have a health and stamina for combat, and a rally mechanic. The downside, the stamina and health are tied together. Why? The devs say this is because when humans are hurt, they can't move around us freely, and this adds realism to the combat. We are in a post-apocalyptic, semi-futuristic environment fighting void monsters, whipping out weapons out of our ass. There is no realism. Like, what? What are you going on about? Why care about it now? It hampers things. And then, to go along with it, the rally mechanic and every other Souls-like is automatic. Whether you have to equip a weapon, you have to equip a skill, you have to, like, learn it in a skill tree, whatever the case may be, it's automatic. It's automatic for a reason. Because making it manual is dumb. No other Souls games tie their stamina to the health bar because it's dumb. That's not a good design choice. And I know what you guys are thinking, but this isn't a Souls-like. It wants to be. It so desperately wants to be. And I'll get into that. But the other thing is that there is no death penalty. It's a toggle. Why even have it as a toggle? So the gameplay loop in every area becomes don't heal. Never bother healing unless you remember that you have a rally mechanic that you have to manually press a button for. Never use a healing item. Because when you respawn with full health. All the enemies stay dead. And you don't lose anything. There's no penalty for dying. So if you go into a new area and there's enemies everywhere, just keep throwing yourself at them. Like, just keep bashing your head against that brick wall. It will break eventually. There's no skill. There's no sense of urgency. There's no effort needed. You just keep throwing yourself until the enemies are all gone, and now you can freely explore. Where's the fun in that? Like, I want to have those clutch moments, you know? Like, oh man, I'm fighting this enemy and I'm low on health, but if I manage my stamina right, I can clutch this victory out and win. Well, not in this game, because if you're low on health, you're also low on stamina, so you don't have enough stamina to do anything, so just roll over and die like the dog that you are. Good game design. Except it's not. Hopefully, it'll be overhauled like Lords of the Fallen or No Man's Sky, and we'll have like that awesome 2.0. Bear in mind, I don't play No Man's Sky. I just have a lot of friends who play it, and they love it now. They didn't like it at first, but ever since the overhaul, they are in love with it. I can't really get into Survivor Craft games, but I have tried Lords of the Fallen. It's fine. I do plan on playing more of it. But I also played Lords of the Fallen back when it was not fine. So, yeah, it does definitely feel a hell of a lot different. So I can at least attest to that one. Now, my opinion might change if they fix it, but the way this game feels like right now, it has a huge identity crisis. It wanted so bad to be a Souls game. It really did. All the elements are there. The stamina management, collecting things. And when I say collecting things, I don't mean like, oh, well, every game you collect things. Like, no, I mean like, you get like these things that are supposed to represent like a type of currency, but I'm sure they are not currency later. But at the moment, it felt like currency. You have your weapon skill system, kind of like Wu Chang almost. The fact that you have save points, when you die, you go back to that save point. The fact that it had a death penalty that you can toggle tells me that initially that wasn't a toggle. They were going to treat it like a Souls game. All enemies respawn. You lose your progress. You got to go back, pick it up kind of thing. But they did away with that. It's almost as if like in the last minute, someone came up and said, hey, I know we're like 90% done with this Souls-like, but we're going to change it. We're going to try to be an action-adventure game now. And they're like, but this doesn't work as an action-adventure game. We're making it a Souls-like. That's why there's no map. Souls games don't really have maps. That's why the quest system is built the way it is. It's a Souls-like. Because think about it. No Souls-like has a map. Except for Elden Ring. But that's different because that's an actual open-world game. This is open-zoned, kinda. I don't know. It feels like it has a major identity crisis. It feels like it needs to fix a lot of things before it gets good. Because if I'm playing on Merciless and I'm not struggling, there's something wrong. Also, now let's talk about why there's a 10-minute gap between editing. This last line, I was initially said, I will still beat this game. Then I went back to look at the game and I saw I only had 2 hours clocked in. Now, if anyone knows anything about Steam, when you have less than 2 weeks since purchase and less than 2 hours of game time, I think it's 2 hours or less of game time, you're eligible for a refund. There are other games I want to play that I have to wait on buying because I bought this. I just realized someone said low IQ take. Eh. I'm not even going to engage with that. But yeah. This is my low IQ take, ladies and gentlemen. I'm struggling to find enjoyment in playing it. And if I have to struggle to find enjoyment to play something, I'd rather not bring myself to play it, because I'm just going to have an even more negative outlook of the game. And that's not fair to the developers. Like, if you feel like you're forced to play something that you don't want to play, you're already going to hate it by default. And if I want my opinion to prove, I'm going to give this game some time to cook. Hopefully they'll improve the game with patches and undo some of these bad design choices. Or maybe some mods will come out that will undo these bad design choices for me. Or for them, not me. For them. I didn't develop this game. Now, if those mods come out, sure, I might give this another chance. And like with mods, this game is great. Because you need to mod it to make it the game that it wanted to be. But oh well. I'll leave this alone. I'm not going to talk about TheeLZ anymore.